Book 1, Sky Dream Icy Worm. Chapter 5.1, First Glimpse Through the Gate. Because of its innate strength and toxicity, the mandala snake doesn't have many natural predators. Before they reach 1,000 years of age, their bodies will have a dark green color, and they'll grow a meter longer for every 100 years they live. By the time they're approaching the 1,000-year level, their bodies can be as long as 10 meters in length. Once they break through, the energy inside of their bodies will condense, and they'll continuously molt. Not only will the color of their bodies change from dark green to pink, their bodies will also simultaneously shrink back down to 1 meter. Afterwards, they'll grow another meter every 100 years. After reaching 2,000 years of age, they'll once again shrink back down to 1 meter. However, the pink color of their skin will become deeper. If we look at the color and length of this mandala snake, we can see that it should have been over 1,300 years old. If it weren't for your help, I'm afraid that I'd have had to suffer a bit to kill it. Naturally, Baby didn't say that it actually wouldn't have been too hard for him and Tangya to team up and kill the mandala snake, if Yu Hao hadn't been there. After listening to Bibi's explanation, Yu Hao's knowledge grew. This mandala snake is actually that mysterious. Then, would it perhaps shed again, once it's reached 10,000 years in age? Bibi nodded and replied, a 10,000-year mandala snake will turn yellow. That would be a truly terrifying existence. Even Soul King experts won't dare to rashly provoke a 10,000-year mandala snake if they encounter one. You'd need a Soul Emperor, at the very least, to be able to beat it easily. Junior brother, since Xiaoya is currently absorbing her soul ring, tell me about your soul skill. What's the name of the soul skill that you just used, and how long can you maintain it for? This is very important information. Yu Hao had previously heard the Sky Dream Icy Worm's reminder, and knew that he couldn't let him be revealed. After pondering about it for a little while, he said, Eldest senior brother, the skill that I just used is called spiritual detection sharing. You should have been able to sense its range. It can only currently be of help within a roughly 30-meter radius. When my soul force increases, its radius should also increase. I don't know how long I can maintain it, but I feel that its soul force consumption doesn't seem to be too large. No way. Bibi looked at him, flabbergasted. The soul force consumption of a skill that has such an enormous effect like yours doesn't seem to be too large. Your spirit eyes seem to be too strong. Furthermore, your soul ring was only obtained from a 10-year-old baboon. This is almost too impossible to believe. The soul masters of the Douluo continent have researched martial souls for over 10,000 years, but there's never been a situation like yours recorded within any of the books I've read. This is truly hard to imagine. Yu Hao lowered his head and said, I don't know what's going on either. After Bibi pondered the matter himself for a while, he revealed a smile and said, Junior brother, you don't need to think too deeply about it, a strong soul skill is always a good thing. With the support of this soul skill, I'm afraid that any soul master will be willing to work with you in the future. However, junior brother, you're a spiritual type soul master. In the future, do you plan to walk the path of an auxiliary system soul master, or a control system soul master? Yu Hao was stunned for a moment. I don't know either. Bibi said, choosing the path your cultivation will take is very important. This directly relates to the soul skills that you'll choose for your future soul rings, as well as the direction of your cultivation. Although you, a spiritual type soul master, have only just obtained your first soul ring, you've already revealed your martial soul's strong potential. If you become a simple auxiliary system soul master, I feel that it would be a bit of a waste. Although I don't know what kind of spiritual soul skills you'll manage obtain in the future, I'm inclined towards making you become a control system soul master. You'll have to put in a lot of time and energy into your spiritual control, but if everything goes smoothly, you might become the core of your team in the future. A team? Do soul masters have to join a team? Yu Hao asked curiously. Since his youth, he'd always relied on himself for cultivation, and had had to experience everything for himself. No one but his mother had ever taught him anything. Now that he'd joined the Tang sect, in his opinion, his eldest senior brother had become more important than a teacher. It had only been a short period of time, but Baby had taught him many things. Baby patiently explained, "Our profession as Soul Masters has developed quite a bit after so many years, but the idea of forming a team was entirely created by the almighty founder of our Tang sect, 10,000 years ago. At that time, he and his companions were called Shrek's 7 monsters. The 7 of them all had formidable abilities, and could release an even stronger fighting strength when they worked together. From then on, cooperation between Soul Masters became the only path for their development. After all, the strength of an individual is minuscule. For example, your cooperation with me just now. It allowed me to be much more relaxed during the battle. Xiaoya and I also have some combination tactics. Conversely, the number of Soul Masters within a team normally shouldn't surpass 10. Out of that team, there would be a battle-type Soul Master who's responsible for defense, an assault system Soul Master who's responsible for attacks, and a control system Soul Master who both commands and controls the battlefield. There are also auxiliary system tool-type Soul Masters, auxiliary system food-type Soul Masters, agility system Soul Masters, along with many other types of Soul Masters. They all have different uses in a team. Qiuyu seemed to have suddenly understood something as he said, "Then, is eldest senior brother an assault system Soul Master?" Baby smiled as he nodded and said, "My martial soul is the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon. It's considered a rather strong martial soul amongst beast souls. It specializes in attacks. On the other hand, Xiaoya's martial soul is Blue Silver Grass, which will allow her to become a control system Soul Master like the almighty ancestor of the Tang sect from the legends. However, her controlling abilities mostly appear within the Blue Silver Grass. If you can also become a control system Soul Master, we can rely on the combination of your spiritual controlling abilities and Xiaoya's Blue Silver Grass. With 2 control system Soul Masters, we won't even need an auxiliary system tool-type Soul Master to be able to form a strong team." Qiuyu nodded seriously, "Eldest senior brother, I'll listen to your advice. Then, I'll work hard to become a control system Soul Master. Only, my natural talent isn't too good. My cultivation speed is very slow." After speaking to this point, he couldn't help but lower his head. When he compared himself, who was already 11 but only had 1 ring, to Bibi or Tang Ya, his talent was quite disappointing. Baby rubbed Qiuyu's head and smiled. Talent is only one part of success. In the past, there weren't always people who could guide you on your cultivation path. Add on to that the fact that you didn't have a suitable cultivation technique, and it's already very commendable that you have been able to reach your current situation with hard work alone. Furthermore, your martial soul in and of itself is pretty good, which means that your potential in the future will be very great. Thus, you don't have to be so remorseful. Since you have the time right now, it'd be better for you to cultivate more. As long as you're able to break through to the 30th rank before the age of 20, you'll have hopes of becoming a strong Soul Master. No matter whether it's me or Xiaoya, we'll both do our best to help you." "Thank you, eldest senior brother." Only a touched expression remained on Qiuyu's face. Baby gently pat his shoulder. "Meeting you might also be Xiaoya and I's good fortune, since we were able to resolve the issue of her advancement in rank so quickly. After she finishes absorbing her soul ring, we can return to the academy. This place isn't particularly suitable for cultivation. You can recall the mysterious heaven technique that I told you about earlier right now, and can start cultivating it once we've reached a safe area." "Yes." Qiuyu replied respectfully. In his heart, Baby had already become slightly more of a teacher to him than Tang Ya.